How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review. And it is tart stout time. Sour stout, tart stout, whatever you want to call it. Wild stout time. Let's say that. Wild. Excuse me. Stout time in the form of Draai Lagg's The Plague. Super excited to review this. I've had it before. Because I actually went down to Draai Lagg. They're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Really enjoyed their beers quite a bit over the past year or so, and kind of just ended up talking back and forth with the owner and brewer Dennis, and kind of headed off. And he's like, "Come on down," and I went down there and spent the night down in Pittsburgh. Bopped around a couple of breweries, but ended there and had a great night. Awesome dude. This will probably go up before I do. I did some interviews with him and stuff like that. Probably go up before then. If not, look for that too. Super cool dude. Kind of crazy, kind of kooky, a little bit nutty in a good way. But for those who don't know, Draai Lagg small brewery, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right outside Millville. And they're all about the wild beers. As you can see here, if you can read it, it's wild by design. It's glass from them. All about wild yeast, wild fermentation, things like that. Really excited about the stuff they're bringing to the table. I just really enjoyed it. I love yeast-driven beers, and what he does with the yeast, I really dig. So, really excited to give this a review. So let's dive right in. Draai Lagg Brewing Company, The Plague. It's an ale fermented with red raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. Wild by design. A collaboration with Caliente Pizza and Draft House. It started with a Belgian-inspired stout in our French oak petite Syrah wine casks. Aged and unaged batches were blended and fermented over a trio of fresh briar berries. The result, a dark wild brew that's infectiously complex. Bottle 43 out of 600, 2015. 9% alcohol by volume. That's pretty much it. For all you geeks out there, we'll go with like a little, we'll do a little brewer shit on here because they have it on here. They got Original Gravity 19 Plato. It came out, starting gravity was 1.080. Apparent degree of attenuation, 88%. Made with Brettanomyces lambicus. I don't know why I say shit like that. I'm retarded. Brewed and bottled by hand, Pittsburgh, PA, and Allison Park, PA. So, yeah. Label-wise, here's the deal. Really, really, really like the labels. If you've watched any of my other Draai Lagg reviews, I've loved all their labels, but they are rebranding. They're pretty much their whole line. They're coming up with more, I don't know what the word is, better labels. Their older labels are really ghetto in such a fantastic way. It's one of the reasons why I kind of started picking them up, because their labels I was like, these are awesome. They're shittily done, and I mean that in a very respectful way, in a way that atypical Belgian labels are drawn pretty shitty. If you ever drank off the beaten path Belgian stuff, I'm not talking about your Chimay and your big time Trappist beers. I'm talking about a lot of Belgian labels are pretty craptastic, and I love them. But they're doing a whole new rebranding thing, bring a little bit of I don't want to say fanciness, but a little bit more artistic design to it, and I really do dig it. Got that whole, I don't know, it's not the Medicine Man thing. If anybody's ever, if you've actually read history, or you play Assassin's Creed, you'll know these little dudes, because they're like the little medicine men. So, yeah. I'm excited to give it a review, because I've already had it. So, I got this nice little chunk of metal I have flying around here, because I actually don't know what I did with my bottle opener. And I just hit record. So I am opening this beer with a random hunk of metal, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually get this. Oh, yeah. So, as you sit here and watch me struggle, not too bad. There you go. Hunk of metal. Thank you very much. Let's see what this has. Wild Stout, like I said. Not a sour stout. Got a little head on that sucker. About a quarter finger of just north of khaki, somewhere between khaki and coffee colored head. pretty much dissipated at this point, and that sucker is black. I mean, it's soda. It looks like Coca-Cola, you know? Especially when that head dissipates out completely. It's definitely going to look like soda. So, yeah. She is dark, and she is tempting looking. So, yeah, let's get a nose on that sucker. It's like the yeast. The yeast they use. It's all different. It's not like they're using the same base yeast over and over. You're getting a raw earthiness. I don't even know how to put it. It's like, it's kind of like, if you've ever been in, I don't know how many of you have actually spent out time outdoors, but I grew up in the middle of fucking nowhere. And like, if you're like, and this is kind of how they get their yeast, so it makes sense. This smells like if you've ever been like in a field and the wind comes flying through like a bunch of trees. So you get a mixture of kind of like just pollen and all kinds of just bits and pieces of tree and flower and weeds and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like a sweet version of that. You're getting those berries in there too. It's almost like that. It's not like a tannic skin of the berry, and it's not even a fleshiness of the berry. It's almost like if you ever eaten like any of the berries they have listed on there. It's the raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries. If you've ever eaten any of those, and you have a little bit left, and you bite down, and you just get a little bit of a seed in there, and you kind of crack the seed open when you're eating it, and you get that kind of internal part of the seed with the flesh and with the skin all mixed together. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting off in the nose. So you're getting an ever so subtle bit of tartness from it. But like I said, it's more that kind of mixture of the internal kind of seediness. This is real nerdy shit, but this is the best I can fucking explain it. It's that internal seediness combined with like a fleshiness, and then you get that kind of like natural kind of just wet meadowy kind of tree funkiness. There you go. How's that fucking sound? I'm just babbling noise at this point. But you're definitely getting the berries in there. You're getting a little bit of like a soda in there. It's almost like a cola-ness, like a Pepsi. It's not even Pepsi, like a Coca-Cola, like a flat Coca-Cola kind of nose out of it. I'm getting like a syrup too, almost like a very low sugar maple syrup out of it. It smells good. It's not very stouty on the nose. It's more dark and mysterious, not so much a roasty toasty kind of stoutiness on it. So you're getting a ton of yeast character out of it. You're getting a deep, not richness and sweet, rich, deep fruitiness kind of out of it, like core fruitiness out of it. So just gonna dive right in. So cheers. Yeah. Wow. That berry's huge now. Yeah. If you're eating... When I was a kid, this is going to be like a 15-minute video, so fucking buckle up. When I was a kid, I grew up, like I said, I grew up in the middle of nowhere. I grew up in Jersey, actually, until I moved to... When I was like 12, I moved to the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and I lived literally in the middle of nowhere. We had no cops. We had no stop lights. We had no... Nothing. In the middle of fucking nowhere. And I used to just go out in the woods and fuck around all day. I used to go fishing. When I used to go fishing, there was like a pond. And outside, like it was land, and then a pond. Land, then a pond. And there was like a ring of land around the pond. And then there was a lake out here. And I used to fish in the lake. And that whole ring around the pond was blueberry bushes. So I used to fish all day and eat blueberries. Now, if you eat blueberries or raspberries or blackberries, there's some that are like the ones that are like rotten, almost not rotten, but they're super ripe and they're very, very, very sweet. And then there's the kind of unsweetened ones that are like new and not ripened. But then there's like specific ones that are like just taste like tart. That's what this tastes like. It's like that. And you can get it from your bushels, too. You get the bushels of berries and you eat them. And there's like, every so often you get one that's more like tart. If they're ripe, they're not unripened, but they just have a different taste to them. The tartness to them. That's what you're getting out of this. is that like tart berryness. It's not super, it's not acidic. It's not sour. It's tart. Absolute Coca-Cola. That's what this is. I'm getting a ton of Coca-Cola out of this. The body's nice. It's not super carbonated, but it's sour. Or, I don't know. I shouldn't say sour. It's a wild ale. So you're not expecting a ton of carbonation to begin with. It's got a nice body to it. Sans that lack of carbonation. Finish is super clean. And it's just done really well. Something you just want to keep drinking, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, it's delicious. It's delicious. And you're talking to somebody... Listen, it takes a lot for me to like tart or sour beers. But this is how I like my beers. And it's kind of like... It's getting to a point where I'm almost coming off like homerish with when it comes to Draai Lagg. But I'm not homerish with Draai Lagg because of anything other than the fact that I really fucking like them. Like, it's not like they're not close to me. They're 5 hours away. Yeah, I went down there and hung out, and that was awesome. But our beer sucks. I'll say that it fucking sucks. But yeah, this is delicious. So you get that real nice, beautiful, non-acidic, non-shitty tartness wrapped with in a stout / Coca-Cola kind of package. It's absolutely yeast driven and absolutely is just flavor that I fucking love. It's really hard to explain. It's like if someone ever get that super, super duper over the top earthy hop, this is kind of the yeast version of that. It's very unique. It is unique. It's unique yeast profiles that I'm getting out of all their beers, which make fucking sense because Dennis is just a unique motherfucker. So yeah, let's talk about it. Is it one of the better beers that I've had as of late? Yes. I like it that much. It's kind of one of those beers that I shouldn't like because, I like stouts, but I don't like wild beers all that much, and I'm not a huge fan of wild stouts, but this just works for me. So, is it one of the better beers I've had as of late? Absolutely. Would I buy it again? No fucking question. It was $8 a bottle. $8.50. So, $8.50 a bottle. Fuck that noise. $8.50 for, like, your Aventinus, what's it, 16.9, whatever the fuck it is, fluid ounces. At that price point, sold. The only thing is it's a one-off, so that kind of sucks. So I'm sure there'll be some kind of secondary market bullshit where you're probably going to pay 3 times as much. But even at that price point, I might buy one. But I'm not going to encourage that. And just say, is it a beer that it's one of the better beers I've had as of late, and I absolutely fucking buy it again. Just absolutely delicious and up there with one of the better beers I've had as of late. And just say if you like what, do you like this? It's not going to be like, hey, do you like this, this, and this beer? You like this. If you like wild, funky yeast, and I'm not talking super sour, I'm not talking crazy sour, I'm talking about funk, I'm talking about wild yeast, funky yeast, I'm not talking about sour. If you love that, and you love if you're a huge Belgian fan, and you like a banging Belgian spirit in your beer, you'll definitely like not just this beer, but pretty much a bulk of what Draai Lagg does, because they just know what the fuck they're doing when it comes with yeast and beers that are made with yeast. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review as much as I did. If you did or you didn't or whatever, please leave comments in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you want to check us out anywhere else on the internet, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers, and all 4 of those places. Another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a beautiful, beautiful wild stout right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.